you ever felt the universe whispering a secret so profound that speaking it out loud might shatter the very blessing being formed? Right now, as you watch this, there's someone younger than you, someone whose heart is already set, someone whose spirit has already chosen, preparing to walk into your life not as a casual encounter, but as a covenant partner. But here's the divine paradox that will determine whether this blessing manifests or evaporates. Your silence is more powerful than your words. In the next 60 seconds, you'll discover why the very thing you want to announce could be the thing that destroys it before it even begins. Welcome, beloved. If this is your first time here, you've arrived at a pivotal moment in your spiritual journey. This channel exists to deliver messages that your soul needs to hear exactly when it needs to hear them. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and turn on those notifications, because what we discuss here isn't just information, it's transformation delivered through divine timing. Before we go deeper, I want you to do something powerful. Type in the comments right now, "I receive." Those two words aren't just letters on a screen. They're a declaration to the spiritual realm that you're ready, that you're open, that you're willing to accept what God has already prepared for you. Go ahead, pause for just a moment and type, "I receive" in the comments. This simple act of faith creates an energetic agreement between your spirit and the divine plan unfolding in your life. Now let's address what's really happening in your life right now. You've sensed it, haven't you? There's been a shift in the atmosphere around you. Perhaps you've noticed someone's attention lingering a bit longer. Maybe you felt a pull towards someone you initially dismissed because of age, because of timing, because your logical mind said it didn't make sense. Or perhaps you haven't even met them yet, but you've felt in your prayers that something significant is approaching. You've been in a season of preparation, though you might not have recognized it as such. Every disappointment, every closed door, every moment you've spent alone strengthening your relationship with God, it's all been orchestrating this very moment. But here's where most people sabotage their blessing. The moment they sense something divine forming, they feel compelled to tell everyone. They announce it to friends, broadcast it on social media, discuss it with people who have no spiritual investment in their success. They break the sacred silence that protects delicate beginnings. Proverbs 18:21 tells us that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Your words carry creative force. They can build or destroy. They can protect or expose. They can nurture or abort. When God is doing something new in your life, especially something as significant as preparing a life partner, there's a gestation period that requires protection. Think about a woman carrying a child in the first trimester. She doesn't typically announce it to the world immediately. Why? Because those early weeks are fragile. The foundation is being laid. The essential structures are forming. Premature announcement invites premature opinion, and opinion carries energy, sometimes toxic energy that can interfere with what God is carefully constructing. Ecclesiastes 3:7 reminds us there is a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. You are in the time to keep silence. This doesn't mean you're hiding something shameful. It means you're honoring something sacred. There's a massive difference between secrecy born from shame and silence born from wisdom. One conceals darkness. The other protects light until it's strong enough to withstand the winds of doubt, jealousy, and misunderstanding that will inevitably come from those who don't understand your journey. This person who is younger than you carries something you need, not because of their age, but because of their anointing. Youth doesn't always refer to chronological years. Sometimes it refers to freshness of spirit, to someone who hasn't been hardened by cynicism, someone who still believes in the impossible. Sometimes God sends someone younger to remind you how to dream again, how to hope again, how to see possibilities you'd written off as unrealistic. They might be younger in years, or they might simply be younger in their faith journey, approaching God with a childlike trust that your more mature walk has sometimes complicated with overthinking and religious performance. In 1 Corinthians 1:27, Paul writes that God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God often works through the unexpected, through what society considers unlikely, through pairings that make logical minds scratch their heads but make spiritual sense when you understand divine strategy. Your union with this person isn't about what the world will understand. It's about what heaven has ordained. But let's talk about why your mouth needs to stay shut right now. When you announce something prematurely, you invite commentary from people who aren't equipped to understand what God is doing. You invite the opinions of those who will measure your blessing by their limited experience. You invite the jealousy of those who are still waiting for their own breakthrough and might unconsciously project their frustration onto your situation. Proverbs 4:23 instructs us to guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Part of guarding your heart is guarding what you allow people access to while it's still tender and forming. Think about Mary, the mother of Jesus. When the angel appeared to her with the most significant announcement in human history, she didn't run through the streets of Nazareth shouting about her supernatural pregnancy. Luke 2:19 tells us that Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. She held the sacred in silence. She protected the miraculous from premature exposure. She understood that not everyone would understand, and she didn't need them to. She only needed to obey God and protect what He was doing through her. You're in a similar season right now. God is doing something through you that others won't immediately understand. This connection that's forming, this person who is positioning themselves to enter your life with serious intent, it's not for everyone to know about yet. It's not for everyone to comment on yet. It's not for everyone to pray about yet, especially if their prayers are soaked in doubt or rooted in their own unhealed disappointments about relationships. If you've been enjoying this message and feeling the confirmation in your spirit, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who need to hear these divine messages exactly when they need them. And keep watching, because what I'm about to share next will shift how you approach this entire season. The enemy of your soul knows that if this relationship comes to fruition, it will produce something powerful. It will produce a partnership that advances the kingdom, that raises children in righteousness, that models covenant love in a generation that's forgotten what it looks like. That's precisely why the enemy will use your own mouth to sabotage it if you're not careful. He'll create situations where you feel pressured to explain, to defend, to announce. He'll place people in your path who will ask probing questions disguised as concern. He'll make you feel like you're being secretive or dishonest if you don't disclose everything. But Isaiah 43:19 declares, "Behold, I am doing a new thing, now it springs forth, do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." God is doing a new thing. The old patterns don't apply. The old timelines don't matter. The old opinions don't count. This is a fresh move of God in your life, and fresh moves require fresh obedience. Part of that obedience is learning to hold your peace while God works. Matthew 6:6 teaches us about the power of the secret place. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you openly. Notice the principle: what is done in secret gets rewarded openly. What you protect in private, God promotes in public. But if you make public what should remain private, you forfeit the divine protection that comes with sacred silence. This person who is preparing to enter your life is watching you right now, even if you don't realize it. They're watching how you carry yourself. They're watching your character. They're watching whether you're someone who can be trusted with something precious. They're asking themselves important questions. Can this person keep sacred things sacred? Do they need validation from everyone, or are they secure enough in God's approval to walk in obedience without an audience? Will they protect our relationship, or will they use it for social media content and dinner conversation? Your silence right now is actually a test. It's a test of your maturity. It's a test of your readiness. It's a test of whether you can be trusted with the kind of blessing that will require discretion, protection, and wisdom to maintain. Proverbs 11:13 states clearly, "A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret." Are you trustworthy? Can you keep what's sacred secret until God says it's time to reveal it? There's also another dimension to this silence that's crucial to understand. When you speak something prematurely, you release it into the realm of human opinion before it's strong enough to withstand that scrutiny. Relationships, especially those ordained by God, need time to develop roots before they're exposed to harsh elements. James 1:19 counsels us, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." Being slow to speak means you're giving God time to establish what He's doing before you invite human interference. Think about a seed planted in soil. If you dig it up every day to check on it, to show people how it's growing, to get opinions on whether it looks healthy, you'll kill it. Seeds need darkness. They need to be hidden. They need pressure from the soil above them. That pressure and that darkness aren't punishments, they're necessary conditions for growth. Your relationship is in the seed stage right now. It needs the darkness of privacy. It needs the pressure of being held solely between you, this other person, and God. Don't dig it up prematurely by talking about it constantly. Philippians 4:6-7 tells us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Notice where you're supposed to present your requests, to God, not to your group chat, not to your family members who will project their fears onto you, not to friends who will analyze it to death, to God. He's the only one who knows the full picture. He's the only one who sees the end from the beginning. This younger person approaching you carries gifts you don't yet recognize. They carry perspective that will refresh you. They carry faith that will challenge you. They carry love that will heal places you've protected for so long you forgot they were wounded. But they also carry vulnerability. They might be battling their own doubts about whether they're ready for you, whether they're enough for you, whether someone more experienced would be better for you. The last thing they need is to hear through the grapevine that you've been discussing them, analyzing them, or seeking opinions about them before you've even given the relationship a real chance to develop. Psalm 37:7 says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him." Stillness isn't passive, it's active trust. It's choosing to remain calm and silent while God orchestrates details you can't see and couldn't arrange even if you tried. Your stillness right now, your refusal to announce, explain, or defend what God is doing, is actually an act of faith. It's you saying, "God, I trust you enough to let you do this your way in your timing without needing everyone's approval." There's coming a day when you'll be able to announce this relationship. There's coming a time when you'll introduce this person to your circle, when you'll celebrate openly, when you'll share your testimony of how God brought you together. But that day is not today. Today is for building. Today is for protecting. Today is for allowing roots to go deep before the tree is displayed. Romans 8:28 promises us that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Notice it says all things, not all announced things or all publicly validated things. God is working right now, regardless of who knows about it. Your blessing isn't contingent on human awareness or approval. It's contingent on divine timing and your obedience. So what should you be doing during this season of silence? Pray. Pray specifically for this person, even if you don't know all the details yet. Pray for their protection, their growth, their journey toward you. Pray for yourself, that you'll be ready, that you'll be healed from past hurts, that you'll be mature enough to receive what God is sending. Prepare yourself spiritually, emotionally, and practically. Get your house in order, literally and figuratively. Make sure you're someone worth coming home to. Colossians 3:15 encourages us, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful." If you have peace about this situation, that's confirmation enough. You don't need to poll your friends for their peace. You don't need to crowdsource wisdom. If Christ's peace rules in your heart, move forward in that peace and protect it fiercely. I want you to type in the comments right now, "Blessed and ready." This is your declaration that you recognize the blessing coming toward you and that you're prepared to steward it with wisdom. You're ready not just to receive it, but to protect it. You're ready not just to celebrate it, but to honor it with sacred silence until the appointed time of revelation. Go ahead and type, "Blessed and ready." Remember this, what God has put together, no one can tear apart. But what you expose prematurely, you make vulnerable to forces that have no business speaking into it. Your silence isn't about shame, secrecy, or dishonesty. It's about wisdom. It's about protecting what's precious until it's strong enough to withstand public scrutiny. It's about honoring the sacred process of divine orchestration. This person younger than you is already making decisions in their heart. They're already moving pieces into place. They're already preparing to show up in your life in ways that will surprise you. Your job isn't to announce it, analyze it, or seek validation for it. Your job is to remain faithful, keep your heart pure, guard your mouth, and trust that the God who began this good work will be faithful to complete it. So here's your simple instruction for this season. Keep your mouth shut. Not forever, just for now, not because you're ashamed, but because you're wise, not because you're afraid, but because you understand that some things are too sacred to be subjected to premature commentary. The time will come for announcement. The time will come for celebration. But this isn't that time. This is the time for silent preparation, for quiet trust, for sacred protection of what God is building. The blessing is already in motion. The person is already positioning. The divine appointment is already set. Don't sabotage it with premature words. Don't invite unnecessary interference with untimely announcements. Just be still and know that He is God, and that what He has ordained for you will come to pass exactly as He has designed it. If this message resonated with your spirit, please share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Send it to that friend who's always announcing relationships before they've had time to develop. Send it to that family member who needs to understand the power of sacred silence. And make sure you come back for more videos like this. We post regularly, and each message is specifically designed to meet you exactly where you are in your journey. Click that notification bell so you never miss a word that your spirit needs to hear. God bless you, beloved. Walk in wisdom, guard your heart, protect your blessing, and trust that what's meant for you is already on its way. Until next time, stay rooted in faith and covered in grace.